Hey there, Pankaj here. So today we're going to talk about Salesforce data security. This video will be a basic overview and we will clear this topic with consecutive videos. So let's start. So basically what does we mean by data security in Salesforce? It means sharing the data set among users. Okay. So as you could read the first line, choosing the data set each user or group of user can see is one of the key decisions that affect the security of your Salesforce org. Basically the dataset that users can. Basically the dataset here includes your whole org, a specific object, a specific field, or even individual records. Okay, so that's what we mean by different dataset. Okay, it's easy to assign different dataset to different set of users. Okay, these are the plus point. Other than that is just a piece of words that you could go through. If you find anything difficult here, you could just drop me a comment, and otherwise connect with me LinkedIn or drop me a mail. Okay, so no issue on that. You could go through. That's the basic idea. So basic idea here is, so the data set here refers to the whole org, a specific object, a specific field, or even an individual record. So the main goal of data security is to whom we want to share it or to whom we don't want to share it. That is, to whom to share and to whom not to share. So that's the basic overview of the Salesforce data security. Okay, you could go through all these points and you let me know. Okay, so let's move ahead. So now this is the main point that we could go through. Okay, so the different level of data access that we talk, when we talk about organization, or we mean the number of users that could log in. Not everyone is allowed to log in, only the authorized user can log in. Okay, and set the password policies, like what should be the length of the policies and number of times the password could be entered, like that, and also the limit of logins, like how many times that the user could log in. Okay, and the certain hours that it could be login, like during the office hours a user should be able to log in. After office hours he may not be able to log in. That is one of the scenario. Okay, there could be certain other scenario for the hours to log in. Okay, and location, by here location mean IP addresses. Okay, that's your org default data security. That's very pretty simple. Now when we come to object, we mean in whether the user is able to read the object or not. Basically it means whether the object is visible to the user or not. If it's visible, whether the user could create, edit, delete a record of the object. That is what we mean by object data access. Now when it comes to the fields, whether the field is visible or not. Basically the specific field of an object is visible to the end user or not, like the user that have the access to your org. Okay, whenever I talk about user, I mean only the users that have the access to the org. Okay, so now if the field is visible, whether the is editable or not by the user. Now we come to the records. Now whenever the record is created in Salesforce, every record has an owner and that owner has the access to record. Now whether the other user can read and edit those records, that is what we are talking about, the access here. So there are different ways to provide this access. First is organization wide default, which normally known as OWD, and only record owner has the access here. Now if we want to share the access to other users as well, there are ways. First is role hierarchies, then sharing rules and manual sharing, that we would know about in the coming videos. Okay, so we are clear here on about the fields. Okay, so now you may ask the question that we could make the field visible and editable using page layout as well, but what's the difference then? The only difference is there, when you do that by page layout, that is not visible, that field is not visible only on that page layout where you made it invisible, or basically you just take away the read access. But when we talk about the data access, in this case that field will not be visible anywhere, whether we talk about the related list in some other object as well. So it is not visible anywhere in the org. But when we talk about page layout, it's not visible only on that. So that's the difference between them. So that's clear with the basic overview of the data access. Now we could check this image that I got from the trailhead. Here you would be able to correlate with this definition. Now let's talk about, there is a certain user. Now we are talking about object level security. There are objects like candidate, position and offer. So the user is not able to see the offer object, but is able to see the candidate and position. By object I mean the records of these objects. Okay, now let's come to the field level security. Suppose the candidate has 4 fields. The user will have the access to first name, last name, but not home phone. Okay, now we come to position. Now position have three fields: title, salary and location. The end user is not able to see the salary because that field doesn't have the read access. And similarly for offer, the user is not able to see any field. Since the object is not visible to the user, he can't see any other field. Okay, so that's one thing. Now we come to the record levels. Okay, as you can see, these gray, they are private. Basically here the setting is organization wide default. Basically the owner is able to see those records. Now we come to other records as well. For example, these records have read only permission. The other user could only read those data but not edit it. Now here we come, as you could see here, this in between position, salary and location, the are editable by the end user. These two are only read only, and this is read only and editable. Similarly with other, this is not visible, but this is read only, this is read only and editable. So that's how you set the access on the records. So we are clear with the object level, field level and record level. And the ways to provide the access for the record level: organization wide default, OWD, where only the owner has the access, and role hierarchy, sharing rule, and manual sharing, where we provide access to the other users. So that's the basic overview. Okay, we would know about details in the coming videos. Okay, so let's move ahead. So now, since we have done with the security, now there are some system parameters that we could use. For example, record modification field. All objects have the fields where we could see who is the owner of the field and who modified it last time, last modified, that we could do using record modification fields. Now login history, it is used to review the list of successful and failed login attempts for the past 6 months, and to way to check it, go to the quick find and then login history. Next comes setup audit trail. Setup audit trail logs when modifications are made to your organization configuration. Basically, suppose you have edited a field or edited some parameters of the object, or you have written some Apex code like that. Like basically you are changing the configuration of your org. Only then all those changes come to the setup audit trail. To check it, you just go to quick find and then type view setup audit trail. So that's two things. And then field history tracking. You can turn on auditing, automatically track the changes in the values of individual. Here you select the tracking for the individual fields on an object. Like for example, let's say for account there is a field called annual revenue. You could set field tracking for that and check what are the changes made to that. Okay, so let's see all this system audit in this video itself. So let's jump to our org. So we are here in our org. So let's see first that about that thing, the last modified fields. Okay, as you can see, there is a fold who is the owner, like basically who created this record and who was the one who modified it last time. So that is one thing. Now let's check about, say, how to check the logins. Okay, so for that we go to the setup, loading. Let's check, type login, I guess, type login, and there it will be login history, who logged in and who logged out for the past 6 months, that you could check here. Now let's talk about setup trail. It's first view setup. View setup audit. This is about the configuration changes that you made in, like the created custom app called random, we created in this. Okay, and then created lighting page, random utility bar, all the configuration changes shows up. Now let's talk about field level tracking. Okay, for that let's go to the object manager and go to our account and then go on fields and relationship, and here is our field set history tracking. Okay, so select that and enable it. Okay, and select the fields. Let's say we want to check for the annual revenue. There is a field called annual revenue. We could select as much fields we want. Field tracking is available for all the custom objects but is not for all the standard objects. Okay, let's talk about annual revenue only for now, for the simplicity. But you have to keep one thing. After selecting it, it's not visible right now. For that, you need to set that in the page layout itself. So let's go to our account layout. That is the one thing in the use. So we went to that. Go to the related list, and here you will have account history. So let's select it here. Okay, it's not coming here. Let's put it on the second number. Let's quick save. Yes, and save it. Yeah, it's done. Now let's go to our object. So let's say move to the related. Let me refresh it once. Okay, why it's not visible? Not yet. I think we saved it. If I'm not wrong, let me check page layout assignment. This one is in use. Page layout, yeah, post system admin, which is in use. Yeah, it's YouTube page layout, that's why it's not visible. Okay, let me set to that page layout. Yeah, go to that page layout, that's why it was not visible. Let's go to the related list, and then we have your account history. So it could set it here and then save it. Okay, we are done. Now let's refresh it. Loaded slowly, but yeah, now account history tracking is here. So let's modify that field for now. Initially it is empty, so annual, where is that annual revenue was that field na? Annual revenue, is it not visible here? No, I've taken the wrong field, I guess. Yeah, here it is. I thought it was not available in this page. Let's set it to be 300. Okay, and save it, and let's move to that related tracking. As you could see, original value was nothing, that's why blank. Now it's a new value. Okay, and the user who edited it was Pankaj Goel, that's me, and that's the date and the field. We could add more fields, as you know. Let me change it again and you will see it more clearly. Let's say 400. So that's how you track the changes in the fields. Okay, as you could see, original value was 300 initial and now it changed to 400. So that's how you track the field. So that's from this video. Thanks for watching, and if you want the presentation that I present, you just drop me a mail or connect with me over LinkedIn. I would suggest connect with me on LinkedIn because I'm more active on there. Okay, so that's from this video. Thanks for watching.